Welcome back to another Unreal for Honor multiplayer combat tutorial series. We are gonna be picking up right where we left off with the combat. I want to get into the blocking system, but before that we need to make sure that our AI can attack us and that we can receive damage. So let's start by doing that and we'll see how far I get. I need to head off to work in about 40 minutes or something, so I'm not sure that I will actually make it. Yeah, so we can start with the blocking function today. Is that better? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. So yeah. Also, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And thanks to everyone who is already subscribed. It makes me really happy, and it's super cool to see that I actually have a few people watching the videos. It's really nice. And yeah, as always, let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll try to answer all of them, or as much of them as I possibly can. Anyway, let's get into it. First, let's start by doing the damage to our player from the AI. We're going to be doing that a little bit differently. From our player class, we are doing a tracing thing. So every 0.005 seconds, we are sending a sphere trace from our weapon start to, around the weapon basically. And this is, if we're gonna do this for all of your AI classes at all times, it's gonna be fairly impactful, I would say, if you have like 20 of them. So it's still a lot better than using event tick, but yeah, basically the smaller the delay, the more impactful it is gonna be for performance, because this is executing all the time. So for our AI class, I usually do it a little bit differently, because I usually don't. The reason tracing is nice is because with the sphere trace you can actually detect physics surface. If you go from here, get surface type, you can actually detect the surface type, so you can do different particle systems if you like attack a wall or the ground or something. But the sweep from a simple collision cannot actually detect the surface type as of now, which is really weird. They should just implement that. Anyway, so for our player character, on the weapon mesh, make sure that you have overlap all on your collision, and yep, that's about it. And what we need to do is we need to find our sword. So this is the sword that our AI class is using. Open it up, make sure that you have collision enabled. Add, I just do a simplified collision, usually make it a little bit bigger, and this is not really gonna matter now, but I usually make it a little bit longer as well, just to account for our eyes, especially if you're using collision on your player character. You always want it to go a little bit beyond the sword, because when you're attacking from, you're standing behind, you see the viewpoint is from behind the character, so you don't really see how far your sword reaches. So it's gonna feel like you're missing a lot if you don't increase it a little bit. It's just better for the feeling of the game, because otherwise you will get mad that you feel like you hit your enemy but you're not doing any damage. Yeah, so now we have collision on our play AI. Actually, I started doing this, I realized, so let me just show you, or actually let me just do it from the beginning. So this is how I usually do it. In our master AI, select your weapon mesh, go to on component begin overlap. We want to, from the hit actor, we want to cast to player third person character. There we go. Perfect. So now we want to apply damage to the overlapping character. So in our player character, we want to create a new function called player take damage. Oh, sorry, it's early in the morning. Player take damage, and create two variables in your player character, one for current health and one for max health. I have mine already, so max health, and I have current health. We don't actually need the max health right now, but on player take damage we want to set current health to current health minus whatever the damage was we got. So pass the damage through the function. Here we go. And just to make sure it's working, print string, we can print the current health whenever we are hit. So from the master AI, the only thing you want to do is, if we are hitting a player character, we want to player take damage, which is the function we just made. And we are passing through the damage, so let's just do a flat amount of 10. And as you can see, we are racking up the minus numbers. Perfect. Because we didn't set a value for our current or max health. Let's do max health 100 and current health 100 as default values. So that should be better, easier to see. So 90, 60, 50. As you can see, he's doing a lot of damage to us in one swing. It's the same reason as our player had with the AI. We need to implement a already been damaged thingy. So yeah, promote to variable, call this already damaged player with an S, make it a type of array. Perfect. Now we have an array of already damaged players. Make sure that your already damaged players contains like this. So if it does not contain, so if our already damaged players array does not contain the overlapping player third person character, we're gonna do the take damage. And after we do that, we're also gonna add, no, we're gonna get this one again, already damaged players. If we go through here, we're also gonna add this one. So if we aren't already in the array, we're gonna add to the array. And after we have taken damage, we're not gonna do anything. What we are gonna do though is on our master enemy animation blueprint, it started raining a buttload and I'm going to work soon. We already have our notifications since we're using the same animations, so we're just going to use disable damage and enable damage. Perfect. Enable first. And do we have an attack start? Nope. Okay, let's do that later. So on enable damage, we want to get owner, which is a reference that we get here at begin play. So on enable damage, we want to get weapon mesh. We want to set collision enabled. Copy it. So on enable damage, we want to set it to collision Curie only, no physics collision. And on disable, we want to set it to no collision. And default is actually we should do on begin play. Here we go. On begin play, we are gonna get our weapon mesh, set call. I might be wrong on this, but this is the way I got it. Since our actor is replicated, as long as we're using a begin play, this is gonna replicate, even if we're not doing it manually. And the reason I also don't replicate it here is because when it's from the animation blueprint itself is already replicated. So this doesn't need to be replicated either because it's called from the animation blueprint. But I might be wrong. Let's see if it's working or not. You see, it's still working. Not sure what happened to. Okay, it took damage once. So what we need to do now is in here, after we disable damage, we also need to, from our owner, get already damaged players, clear. So when we disable the collision, we also clear the array so that in the next attack we can damage our player again. 90, 80, bam, there we go, easy. I just realized one thing as well. We don't actually need to do it this complicated because we're using a targeting system. So we could just base all damage on if we are targeting something and hitting. That's probably a way better idea. Let's not do that right now, but I might change the entire damage system later. So yeah. That's it for the no collision. Perfect. So that's working. Perfect. What do we need to do now? We also need to do we don't have a UI, right? Oh. This is just the attack direction, right? Yeah. We could use this one as our main UI. Are we adding this one on the gameplay? No, we are not. Okay, yeah. Let's create a new one. Right click, user interface, widget blueprints, call it WB main UI. There we go. And let's just create a super easy health bar. Just not gonna make it look good. Progress bar. I already show you how to do it on the AI, so I'm not gonna waste any time in the video and actually showing it again. So, how's my volume? Just down there, anchor to down left, and I'm just gonna fill color and opacity on there, remove the blue, and on percentage we want to get it right over there just for show, and the style, the background image is gonna be gray, something like that, and the fill color is gonna be red, right? Something like that for now. And just perfect. And for the percentage, for now, just bind it. How do I do this? Get control pawn, cast to player third person character. It's a pawn, right? So that should work. So from here, get max health. So from your third person character, and yeah, you'll probably know this already. I always forget which one is which. It's this way. Current health divided by the max health, right? I'm pretty sure. So that should work. And on the begin play, we also need to create widget, and it's gonna be our main UI. Owning player is gonna be self. Okay, get player controller, like that. So we are creating the widget. Now we need to add it to the viewport. Add to viewports. Sorry about that. Like that. And what are we gonna do now? Let's just see if it's working. There we go. There we have our health bar. Let's see if it's, and as you can see, it's subtracting. It's not as nice as the AI one that are actually losing a little bit of health every time. This is the thing with collision. As soon as we start messing with collision, you can see that with the weapon collision, we can see that our AI class is starting to doing some weird things. No, it's already no physics. It's not simulating physics, it's not simulating physics. 1 second. There we go. Sorry, lost track. Getting sidetracked from text messages from people. What was I doing? Yeah. So yeah, perfect. What we need to do now is, as you can see, our AI is crazy. He's just dishing out attacks. So what we need to do is we should slow him down somewhat, every now and then. Let's see, on this attack, don't we have an attack start? Okay, we don't. So on the different attack animations that we have, there's one thing that is nice to do. So on the notifiers, I'm just gonna do a new notifier called attack start. I usually do that as well. So we got attack up, we got attack left, same here in the notifiers, attack notify, skeleton notifiers, attack start, and the right one as well, notifiers, add notifiers, skeleton notifiers, attack start. Perfect. So get anim rate, no, sorry, attack start. So from here we want to, because we want to add a little bit of delay on the attack. Our player is fine because the AI is not a human, so he doesn't need time to react to the attacks, and we could just be mean and let the attack really fast. We might do that for the light attacks, but for the heavy attacks we definitely should have some delay. And it's not a delay per se, we're just gonna slow down the animation. I don't remember the word for it, but there's a word for it in development where you give the player kind of a small warning before you actually do an attack. So attack starts, and I think we do get the mesh right. Get owner, get mesh, I think it's from the mesh. Set global anim rate scale is from the mesh. So we want to set it to on attack start something like 0.7, and on enable damage, which is when we're in the swing, we can set it back to 1. And just to give you a feeling of how that works is I'm gonna set it to 0.2. So now you're gonna be able to see when he attacks. As you can see, it's really slow until he swings. So something like 0.7 I usually do, just gives a tiny bit of an indication that there's an attack incoming. As you can see. So it's a little bit slower. Maybe it's still very fast for a heavy attack, so maybe I should set it down a little bit. Maybe 0.5, is that too slow? Might be. Oh, that's all right. Gives us time to react. Almost. Up, bam. Left, bam. Right, bam. Yep. Left, bam. What's more? Up, bam. Yeah, so you can see, actually gives us time to react to, obviously you can do that where you want to. It gives us a little bit of time to react to the attacks. I think that's fine for now. In this video I need to head off to work. I'm gonna try to do another one fairly quickly. Since this is the fun part, this is where the fun starts. We can actually start sparring with our AI. So yeah, in the next video we'll do the actual blocking things, but it seems to work right now. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel as always. Bye and see you.